I don't want to miss, an opportunity for a guy to grow if we feel like it's going to be beneficial to him.
I imagine Dante was one of those repeat guys. What have you seen him get out of those experiences, specifically each of the past two springs?
Yeah, I think he's learning. Consistently learning. To me, it's you have a retreat like that, you have an opportunity like that, but then what's the action that follows it? And I've seen action to follow that with Dante, with several of other guys, Austin, several of the guys that go to that. And then the next week you see a difference in behavior, a difference in action.
There's still a buyout dispute going on with former running backs, Coach Carlos Lockton. You don't see that happening very often to play out in public like that. Are you surprised it's still going on?
I really can't speak to it.
Cool.
Do you expect it to be taken care of?
I don't know. I'm not worried about it.
Coach, what did you learn about the Rose Bowl game? You won the game, the first game, and then the second game didn't go your way. So what did you learn from that ball game?
Kind of been hit with that question a bunch. But ultimately that we still have room to grow, still have room to improve, and credit to the team that we played. They played really well that day.
Dan, how quickly did Dylan Thieneman latch on to your system? Having 24, I think, starts his first 2 years of college football.
Yeah, Dylan's a student of the game. Super aware, holds himself to a really high standard of what he wants to be able to achieve. So as fast as he learned it, it still wasn't fast enough for him. But he's still learning every single day, and that's what's exciting. He has a growth mindset when he steps out there on the field. He wants to execute at a really high level.
Talk about the actions that Dante took after some of those games. Are some of those examples like hosting the retreat with the other players like Dylan did a year ago, or passing on the Manning Academy in order to be around for on-campus workouts? Are those some of those actions or such?
More so just like his demeanor around the team, around workouts, the demands that he'll ask, staying with the offense afterwards, after a morning lift session to watch film together, things like that.
Dan, you mentioned earlier an admiration for how Ryan Day has handled pressure and adversity. I'm wondering how have you experienced those things since you've had some success at all?
I think pretty good.
How is the success you guys have had added to that?
Added to the pressure? Yeah, when you win more, there's higher expectations for sure. But again, I don't think anybody sitting in the seat that I sit in, like no one gives you higher expectations than yourself and what you're capable of. So people every year will ask, what's your prediction for this team? What will they look like? And my hope is that they play the best that they're capable of. If we do that, the rest kind of takes care of itself. We're not one to say, hey, we're going to go do this or do that. It's more about how talented is this team, how good are we, can we operate really efficiently. And if we can do that, then I'll be really happy with the result regardless.
Coach, how is the
CSC, being established, and then the questions about future NIL collectives, and then yesterday we see news that, hey, we probably aren't going to be as strong against NIL collectives. So I know a lot of people are out there rushing like, well, maybe we need to start focusing more on collectives. Like, how are you handling that in your staff when the same things seem to be changing every day?
Yeah, you said it, just adaptable, right? Like the things continue to change, be ready and prepared to be able to adapt. And I think that we have to give a little bit of a grace period to see how this works and what it looks like. But I think time will tell.
Coach, how is the revenue sharing? Has it changed any of your recruiting, one way or another?
Not in a lot of ways, because we don't necessarily spend a lot of time with that conversation. It's certainly a piece of the recruiting. Don't get me wrong, but it's been a piece. It's just a different model. It's a little bit different frame of reference. When you're pulling out of a smaller pot, it's going to look a little bit different, or a bigger pot, it's going to look a little bit different. I think it's different for every team, but it doesn't change what you're recruiting to, what exists at the University of Oregon, how we've been able to develop guys, what guys have been able to do within our program, who fits our attributes that we're looking for. That piece hasn't changed.
Dan, what is doubling down specifically?
On the process, right? Doubling down on the process. Like we've had a lot of success, in our program because we've learned to do things a certain way, improve, continue to have that same. I really attribute our growth mindset, our DNA traits that have become really essential to who we are and what we are, and then building off of that and saying, okay, like let's hammer it. Let's continue to focus on those things that have made us really who we are so far, right, and build on it.
So the next step is mental as much as anything.
Well, yeah, but it's also work, right? So like doubling downs, like continue to work your ass off at practice, right? Doubling downs, continue to run in a drill that you don't fit, your body's telling you no, right? Doubling downs, get the sleep necessary, right? It's everything, right? It's focusing on all those pieces.
Coach, it seems the last few years have made emphasis now for players around the program, whether it's a spring game or other situations like Mateo was working out with Kevin Thibodeau in the offseason. Can you talk about the impact that those former players have had on your team?
Yeah, I think more than anything, like those guys built this program, right? Like they were here long before I was, and I always want them to feel welcome to be a part of what we're doing now, because I hope they look at the University of Oregon with a sense of pride, a sense of admiration, a sense of respect of what the university did for them. But when that career is over with, it doesn't mean all of a sudden, okay, that your time's done, don't be here anymore. Now it's time to make sure that they get to be a part and be back around our guys, and they've earned that, right? Not necessarily with an ask, not with a, hey, we make this appearance or make this phone call. Like just the opportunity to be around our team, I think is really important.
You mentioned earlier all the new faces that'll be on the field for your team this year. What excites you most as a coaching staff when you have that level of turnover where you're kind of ushering in new players in a lot of different positions?
Yeah, kind of the same that I shared on the stage. Like, I don't know what issues will arise throughout camp, but it's fun to be able to solve issues together, right? To put your thinking caps on, to say, okay, hey, we did really well at this, but this isn't the standard, this isn't good enough. How do we improve it? And I can't predict exactly what those things are yet. And that's what's exciting.
Coach, any difference from the one league to another, making that transition? You were in the league 1 year so far, the Big Ten.
Yeah, Big Ten is the best in football. I think the results have shown that the last couple of years. Thank you.
Coach.